everyone. How you doing? Welcome to Israel Doctrine Google Hangout. I'm your host, Carl Albert Davis, and you have now entered into our Google Hangout. And with that said, we're going to get right to the point. That's the title. States the cover up of the century. WH2TB2013. That's what's happened to that boy 2013. Hidden secrets they don't want you to know about, which is just the truth they don't want you to know about. So I think I'm going to have to lay the truth down. Once again,
The cover-up of the century. On April 2nd, 2013, an article was published by Colorado-based writer Khalil Amani, formerly Lloyd Rodney Clark, at the behest of New York's late DJ Slay, informing the world that Afrika Bambaataa was not only gay, but that on April 1st, 2013, he statutorily raped a Hispanic or Latino teenage boy while in a New York City apartment with his manager Ahmed Henderson. The underage teenage boy is alleged to have stabbed not only Afrika Bambaataa during the statutory rape, but also his manager Ahmed Henderson, who was at the scene in the apartment where the rape is alleged to have occurred on April 1st, 2013. After publishing the article, Khalil Amani alleges that DJ Slay informed him that the Universal Zulu Nation wanted to do harm to him and that it could do so by its Zulu chapter located in Colorado, and the article was removed by Khalil Amani and then republished a few days later. Israel Doctrine Entertainment LLC via me, the founder Carl Albert Davis, was able to locate Khalil Amani via YouTube and Facebook after Ronald B. Stinger Savage and Hassan Poppy Campbell came out alleging that they too were molested and statutorily sexually assaulted by Afrika Bambaataa as teens in Bronx River housing projects in the 80s and 90s. After interviewing with me on the Israel Doctrine YouTube channel, Khalil Amani informed the public on the Ed Opperman report that not only did DJ Slay inform him prior to 2013 that Afrika Bambaataa had a fetish for sexual encounters with underage teenage boys, but that as a teenager DJ Slay was once used with other teens to traffic underage boys to Afrika Bambaataa. Khalil Amani would later become a sworn enemy to Israel Doctrine following a strategic lawsuit against public participation placed against Carl Albert by Layla Wills, a Chicago-based journalist known for making the documentary Trapped in a Culture, later changed to the first gay family of hip-hop.
So as you can see, I got one story. That's the only story I got, the story I'm sticking to. And I'm rehashing it because they want to write false narratives on me and say that this is not the story.
Khalil Amani, a nationally known recipient of the Federal Witness Protection Program for his providing federal witness statements against Miami-based cult leader Yahya Ben Yahya, and later becoming a writer for DJ Slay Straight Stuntin magazine, has a long history of providing either cover or interference for individuals who sleep with underage teenage boys and girls. Not only was the Yahya cult alleged to have participated in underage sex with minors by its leader, but Khalil, who would later join a Greek fraternity, has members of his frat currently alleged to have ties to the now infamous Epstein Island as it pertains to Jeffrey Epstein. Khalil Amani has been either affiliated directly or indirectly throughout his entire adult life with cults, fraternities, and hip-hop entities tied to sex trafficking of minors. Khalil Amani has not only turned on Israel Doctrine Entertainment following his winning his case placed against him by Layla Wills and then by the city of Chicago after Layla Wills lied to Chicago police on Carl Albert, but Khalil Amani has stalked and doxing Carl Albert online for about 6 or 7 years. Carl Albert recently proved that Khalil Amani has been doxing him with his playing of an archived video from around 2019, where Khalil Amani was claiming he knew Carl Albert's deceased mother's friends from Chicago and that he had information to prove Carl Albert was sent to Parkin, Arkansas by family associated with him having a sexually transmitted disease, a totally false and slanderous statement. Khalil Amani has had numerous YouTube channels terminated for false statements made by him, including that he had sexual relations with another man YouTuber and for copyright strikes, yet he still remains on YouTube stalking and slandering Carl Albert and Israel Doctrine Entertainment affiliate. Khalil Amani in his early adulthood contributed to the depravity and degrading of the black, white, and Latino communities of Miami to Washington, D.C., transporting illegal narcotics and even robbing establishments, and then had it all erased by Uncle Sam when he decided to inform on his cult leader Yahya Ben Yahya.
Just letting it stick in, people. Because I am a public individual now. I don't have nothing like that. Y'all want to talk about me date raping a girl at 12? Where did you hear it from? Oh, that is hearsay. And I done dealt with that before.
Khalil Amani was offered a deal to cover up the allegations against Afrika Bambaataa by Sabir Bey, who Khalil Amani alleges offered him a potential movie deal for his cult story in Hollywood if he ceased and desisted from speaking on Afrika Bambaataa. Khalil Amani has hired or patronized other YouTube creators to attack Israel Doctrine and make false claims against him, ranging from allegations of pedophilia and even associated with false claims of sharing child sex videos and other illegal contraband, which is all false. Khalil Amani fears that his legacy is in jeopardy for people online seeing that he is complicit with child sex trafficking from Yahya Ben Yahya to DJ K-Slay and Afrika Bambaataa. Khalil Amani, who recently boasted of retirement from his job as a medical technician, is what I believe to be a career criminal hiding behind the guise of the United States government and the Federal Witness Protection Program. Khalil Amani once was alleging that Layla Wills and Hassan Poppy Campbell was aligning themselves in a racketeering influence corrupt organization associated with witness tampering and sharing of addresses associated with potential hits against the now deceased TC Islam. Khalil Amani has witnessed Hassan Campbell make death threats, bomb threats, terrorist threats against residents of Bronx River housing projects, and online cyber terrorism against YouTube content creators and online participants.
Let it sink in, people. But I'm the bad guy. Hear my story and let it sink in.
Khalil Amani has openly engaged in slander and libel of YouTube content creators that got previous channels terminated, and he now has been doxing content creators after the fact of these breaches of YouTube community guidelines. Khalil Amani is aware that his affiliations with Troy Star Torain, Layla Wills, and Hassan Campbell is his complete demise as it pertains to the cover-up of the century in hip-hop. Due to the fact that Khalil Amani has been covering up for Afrika Bambaataa to this very day is an ongoing conspiracy that keeps the statute of limitations on certain crimes in play, as the cover-up daily is proof of an ongoing conspiracy.
Let it sink in. Like he said, he don't want to play back and forth with me with this. Because when I find a slender and I can take him to court, it's going to court. But I really don't want to do that. I'm going to defend it. I just need to gather up the evidence so when we go to court, I can shit on him. That's how you shit on Layla Wills and Troy Star Terrain, DJ K-Slay, and all the other people. Shitting on them mean flex on them. And I don't like the flex. The only thing I ever did in life is take care of my mother. I don't need to flex with nothing else. I need to live my best life, my golden years with my children. If I get blessed to get my wife and have some children. Biggest flex in the world. Thank y'all. I'm out. Peace.